Joining us this morning is education consultant Kevin March. And Kevin, this school year really could be categorized as traumatic for students and teachers and parents. There really was such a steep learning curve. So talking about the summer slide, it feels like a lot of pressure. Should we even be talking about it when some people are still recovering from what this last school year looked like?
Good morning, Elizabeth. Yeah, it's definitely tough. I empathize with the students who are going through it. I know a lot of grad students who are also feeling the summer slide, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't talk about it, because unfortunately there's research that suggests that as more time goes on, basically it gets worse and worse. So you don't want to ignore the problem. You definitely want to keep engaged and keep kind of focused on learning.
So what kind of learned skills are lost in the summer months typically, and which students are the most impacted? Younger ones, older ones?
Yeah, so there's research to suggest that the older the students are, the more impacted they are in the long term. That said, grades 4, 7, and 10, often those are considered the critical years. So if your students are in one of those years, you should be especially kind of vigilant about making sure they're getting everything they can.
This year, some of the gaps in learning may be because of the immense challenges surrounding homeschooling, and parents are likely looking for a little bit of a break now that it's summer. Are there ways to support the education process, though, that the family will actually enjoy while they're on vacation?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that we often think of learning as not that fun, and I think learning can be super fun. So it could be even a game night with parents where it's kind of a math-based game. Our company offers build your own summer camps, which are academic based, but even tutoring or studying with friends or doing something that's kind of interactive but also fun is a really good way to go. And
how do you measure if your child has actually fallen behind? I think people would be curious about that, especially this year.
Absolutely. So older students can take an SAT or an ACT just as a practice test, and even looking at those results is a great way to see, am I meeting kind of major benchmarks? There are states like the MCAT in Massachusetts is a great kind of practice. I know some of those are available online, the older exams. So those are great ways. And then just teachers are always cognizant of the summer slide because it happens every year. But that said, you want to prevent it from starting in March, so it doesn't snowball.
Yeah,
exactly.
How is it that families can prepare for fall this year, given that no one really knows exactly what school is going to look like next year?
No, that's a great question. So what I always say is assume the worst, because I'm an optimist usually, but assume the worst. Get really comfortable with online tools, and then you might be pleasantly surprised your school might open, which would be awesome. But in case it is still closed, I wouldn't get your hopes up and sort of ignore the problem and then kind of have this unpleasant realization at the end of the summer.
Yeah, you want to be able to react no matter where it goes. Well, Kevin March is with Firat Education. Kevin, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.